Yo guys, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Snes or Super Famicom controller, how to clean it, how to change the rubbers. Let's go.
Okay guys, so welcome back. So these are the items that you're going to need. You're going to need preferably a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm using a flathead here, but one that's basically small enough to get into the little holes in the back. I'm also using, probably shouldn't be using these, but I'm just using a normal baby wipe. And some of these cotton buds of the girlfriends, which I don't think the camera's going to focus on right now. Basically, they've got a flat end on one side and a really pointy end on the other. So what we're going to do to begin with, we'll probably speed up through this bit, just take the screws out of the back. And there we go. Now what I would suggest is just popping this just to one side, leave the screws in. Normally you would have a fifth screw down here, but I don't have that in mind, so we're just going to leave that out. Now I do already have replacement rubbers in mind, but I will just take them out. So this is the inside, this is your PCB. This wire will be looped around here like this. So first of all you want to take this out, and then these pop out too. Now just be careful with these, as I've just done there, because they do have little pins in them that just slot straight through there. So again, you just want to pop them to one side, pop them over there. They are your shoulder buttons. Now it's not too difficult of a process this, but I understand that some people might just be a little bit cautious. If it was a PS4 pad or something, you probably want to be a bit more careful, but as it happens. Now this is something that I have had to do. So this is just a little bit, this is actually a cigarette paper wrapped in tape, which I've just had to put just behind here, just because it wasn't pushing up against the rubber too well. So these are my new rubbers. These are the ones that we previously installed. They came from Japan Spiel. Shout out to Death by Gaming for ordering them for us. So you'll get your A, B, X, Y buttons there, directional buttons, 2 shoulder buttons, and then your start and select buttons as well. Now inside here, you've got your directional pad, green button, blue button, which is a little bit dirty. Just realised I'm holding this a little bit off camera. Yellow button, and your red button. So again, keep them grouped together, because you're gonna want to keep them together. So that's the inside of a Snes pad. This is of course optional depending on how heavy your pad is really. So as I say, I'm using baby wipes. You probably shouldn't. People might frown upon that, but it's the thing I've found works best without using sort of isopropyl alcohol cleaner. Now all you're going to want to do, like you can probably see just around the edges here, got a little bit of dirt. We've got a lot of yellowing on the top. It came through as very yellow console. So all I'm going to do is literally just get this end of the cotton bud and just give it a good squeeze. Not so much that you start dripping stuff everywhere, just enough to dampen the end of the cotton bud. And just start wiping over and just getting into all the nooks and crannies basically. And just getting these bits nice and clean. Works wonders. I mean, look at the state of that now. Like, it's grim, quite grim. Honestly, when I got this, I have cleaned this a little bit since I got it and put them new rubbers in. I mean, some people might ask, why would you need new rubbers? I mean, for me personally, I speedrun games, so when I'm speedrunning, I need buttons to be spot on. And the rubbers can sometimes perish. They can start to go rock hard, absolutely solid. Now, what I am going to do is just tip these screws out just so I can get into cleaning the other side. Oh, sorry, not microphone there. So, I mean, I do want to get into these bits. We'll just give them a good dab. Oh god, I just used the word dab in a video. Sorry about that, guys. We can probably skip through a lot of this, to be honest. Like, it's just sort of self-explanatory, you know, how to clean, basically. But you just want to make sure you're getting into all the nooks and crannies, into all these bits. Just around the buttons as well, because they get quite dirty. Mainly sort of inside here as well, because that's where most of the dirt comes from. You know, you've got your fingers on the pad like this constantly. the dirt's rubbing off as you're playing. And that's about the sum of cleaning it. Now, as I say, when I got this, it looked like it had been kept in, like, a sand dune or something. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I did manage to get most of it out, but I didn't do a thorough cleaning on it. I just literally took a baby wipe to it. As I say, you'd probably want to use an alcohol solution on this. But look at the dirt that's coming off that. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm just going to swap out my my cotton bud now for a fresh one. And we'll get that nice and moist. Thumbs up if you cringed at that word, because I know many people do. And you just, as I say, you just want to make sure you're getting into all the nooks and crannies. I wasn't going to do this cleaning section of the video, but Hallowed Siren said that she would very much appreciate it if I did a little cleaning bit. So this is for you, Hallowed. As I say, we're just going to get rid of all these bits. This is just grime from actual playing. Like, just from people's hands being on it, basically. Now, I will do another video when I get some isopropyl. Because there is part of this that I don't want to clean with a baby wipe. With plastic, I'm not too fussed. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the shape of that. So, the next part you're going to want to clean is the actual PCB itself. Now, I'm not going to do this right now because, as I say, I want to get the proper isopropyl to clean it with. But that's about the sum of that. So now, as for the rubbers, they're fairly easy to install. I mean, you can go over the button. I did go over the buttons earlier when I first got the pad, so you can go over them with the same baby wipe and other technique. Now, I need to remember how the bloody hell to put my controller back together. I'm trying to spot my other controller through the thing. Right, green goes in here. Should really know these things, Dwayne. Blue is at the top. I think. Red is there. If I can get these in the right way around. And yellow goes down here. There we go. Good stuff. So then you just literally, it's as simple as taking this rubber, matching it up to this little hole here, and popping it in. That's it. That's your new rubber in. Now, I wasn't going to make this video, but I know a few people do get scared about opening up controllers. But as I say, the Snes controller, it's a very, very robust controller. Now, these, I will provide a link to these. I need to stop saying so much. He says saying Yeah, I will provide a link to these. Fuck's sake. I need to stop saying and I will stop going on about it now. I'll provide a link to the rubbers in the description down below, so then you can see exactly where I got them from. And yeah, that is about the sum of it. So you want to pop them in there. Make sure they sit nice and flat. And then the nice tricky bit. So it's not that tricky really. You just want to slot these in here, but make sure there's like a little, I don't know what to call it. It's like a little square shaped thing in here. I've just realised I was holding that well above the camera. So you want to pop that just in there. Oh, we could do going over the shoulder buttons actually looking at it. So we'll just get our little rag. Little raggedy cotton bud. Just go over them a little bit. Just give them a little bit of a wipe. Now, as I say, you don't want to go too aggressive on these. There is something called Retro Bright, which you can use to get rid of. It's not so much on that side. But if I just hold this like this, you can see the colour difference between them two. Like, this has been yellowed and damaged. So, next thing. Oh, we dropped our rubber. We dropped our rubber. You want to slot them in there. Get these little bits. And make sure you're putting them on the right sides. So you want R to be on the right hand side, which would be this one. Not that it particularly matters, because they work the same upside down as they do the right way up. Now, just for a test, I'm going to leave my little slip of paper out. As I say, what I would normally do is I would have a little slip of paper just in between this and just in between this contact, just so it actually, not in between the contact, but pushing this out a little bit, basically, just so the contact hits it a little bit better. I was struggling with that a little bit when I first installed these rubbers. When you first get these rubbers, they will be incredibly stiff. Incredibly stiff. You're going to want to break them in before you start doing any sort of serious gaming. And now, as for this, you want to pop that first bit in, but don't slot it down yet, because you need to get these corner bits in first. These do slot in, just as so. Now you can actually hear with the there we go, they snap into place. I don't know if you can hear that. You can actually hear the physical click. It's quite a nice feeling. Next thing you want to do is get your wires and just twist them into there like that. They should follow a natural flow of going into that sort of S shape there at the top. And then clip that back in. Grab your screws. I'm trying not to knock my microphone here. Get them back in there. Give it a bit of a jiggle. As I say, I am missing a screw here. Just because that's how the controller came when I bought the console. It was a lovely little bundle I got off eBay. Famicom console. 10 games. And a controller for £45, which I can't really grumble at. I mean, the state of the... I'm going to do a cleaning session on the Snes actual console as well. Just because it's filthy and it needs retro brighting, quite frankly. So, get these screwed back in. And that's it. That is how to change rubbers in your Snes pad and give it a quick clean whilst you're there. There we go. Happy days.
So thank you for watching, guys. If you did appreciate the content, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. We'll catch you next time.